Alright everybody, so here's another Onan engine assembly tip. This is the starter. This one has a very large hole, it's about a ½ inch, and this one's a 5/16 hole. Before I put these in, I always lube this section here that spins. So I spray WD-40 up in here between the spring, set it up like this, spray it in there, let it run down, turn it upside down, drive the gear out, and spray these little worm gears with WD-40 until this thing releases. Nice and easy like that. Basically, you don't want this thing to seize up in the out position because when it starts, it'll destroy your starter. So, like a lot of other things, most of the time these starters don't really go bad. They can be a pain in the butt. So this is how it goes on the motor. You can see there's kind of a recess here on both parts of this. That's for these bosses down here on the motor, which I don't know how well you can see, but there's two bosses down here on the motor for the starter. One of them's way underneath the bottom, and one of them's not so far down. Now, you want to make sure when you're setting this up to use some good quality fasteners. This is a grade 8 bolt. How can I tell it's a grade 8 bolt? Well, two reasons. One, it's usually grade 8 bolts have this gold coloring on them. I think it's called gold iridated. The top of the bolt head has 6 lines on it. 6 lines means grade 8, which is a hardened bolt. 3 lines means grade 5, which is a semi-hardened bolt. And no lines on the top is just a regular old soft steel bolt. You want to make sure you use grade 8 bolts when you're doing this, or at least grade 5. This had grade 5. I always upgrade. You want a big washer, and you want a lock washer on there. That's because you don't want these things to back off and have that starter wiggling around on the motor. Then it actually comes out of contact with your starter gear on your flywheel when it's trying to turn over, makes horrible grinding noises, and eventually you'll end up breaking something. So, these starters are not extremely difficult to get on. They're not the easiest things to get on. You have to have patience, that's the biggest thing. You gotta start with the bottom bolt, kind of hold the starter up to take the weight off of it, and you gotta find the hole, and just start working that bolt in one thread at a time with the tips of your fingers. So this is another one of those Onan tips because a lot of people ask, well, do I have to take my flywheel off to put a starter on? And I'm telling you right now, no. If you take your flywheel off to put a starter on, you are living life wrong, my friends. So there you go. Bottom bolt's in place. Top bolt I'm going to put in right now. And again, they're not the easiest things to reach. I'm trying to do this without getting my hands too much in the way, but obviously all you can see right now is my elbow. But once I get these in place, I will show you where the bolts are. Let me just get that one started on the top there. I think I got it. Yep, so they're started there. Let me thread that guy in. You can kind of get your hands around in here and twist them like this with the tips of your fingers. You can use a ratcheting wrench too. I just don't think I have my 1/2 inch one with me. It's on the other side of the garage, which I should get because it makes this a lot easier. But I am screwing that in with my fingertips. Now, starter has a bunch of play in it, which allows you to adjust what you need for the lash on the starter gear. So what I'm going to do is snug up the bottom bolt on here. And again, is this easy? Not particularly easy. It's a lot easier to do out of the tractor than it is in the tractor. I'm just going to snug up this bottom bolt. And again, it would be easier if it was my ratcheting wrench, but I don't feel like going to get it, so I'm using this little stubby wrench. Works perfectly fine. And come on, let's get that bottom one snugged up here. So I painted this motor black mainly because I had black paint and I ran out of red. All the engine tins are red. This one's going in the roper and should look pretty sharp. Alright, so let's get this guy just snug to where it holds the starter. Then I'm going to switch angles here in a second. I realize this is the kind of boring stuff you watch, but if it helps one person, it's worth it to me because I'm working anyway. I might as well record myself. Alright, so that bottom bolt is pretty snug. So now, when I move my starter, it kind of stays where it needs to go. What I'll probably do here is snug the top one up as well. You want just enough drag on this so that when you set the starter motor in place where it needs to go, it'll stay until you can get the bolts tightened up. So let's put a little tension on the top one here. All right, that works. So you don't have a lot of adjustability, maybe a half an inch, maybe, yeah, about a half an inch worth of adjustability. Now I'm gonna change camera angles here. And let's see how well you can see this. I might have to drop this down a tick. If I can do that without my tripod collapsing entirely. It's a cheap tripod. I bought it years ago at Big Lots, so I make no guarantees as to the fact of whether or not it'll actually tip over. Now, what you want is a good starter engagement in between this Bendix gear and your flywheel. So you kind of spin the starter until that Bendix kicks out and engages with your flywheel. And I will show you what you want to use to get that right. So what I'm doing here is twisting the starter up and down on that adjustment. And you want a little bit of play in between those gears so it's not too tight. And let me show you how to test that. I have my, where's my tool here? I gotta get one. Alright. Here is my starter to Bendix gear checker. Does it look like a zip tie? That's because it is a zip tie. So what I do to check this is jam this guy in between the gear on the starter. And what you want to have is enough clearance that when that Bendix is engaged, you just have the depth of a zip tie in there. That should give you proper clearance. So I'm actually going to use two. I'm going to put one on each side of that gear. So I'm going to put one up here on the top, and then I'm going to push my starter up into place so those things are pretty much tight in there. All right, so that's pretty good. Now I'm going to tighten up my starter. And again, this is really tedious, boring work, but it'll help somebody. So top bolt's tight and bottom bolt's still snug. I'm going to pull those out. Now you see there's a little bit of wiggle. That's what you want. So use two standard black zip ties. These are the, I don't know, 7-inch long ones that you buy from Harbor Freight. That's what you want for your starter engagement. Enough that that tooth is just about 3/4 of the way in there, but not grinding. Then when it releases, it has just the right amount of grab to go in there and spin that thing over, and it releases back behind it. So that's your tips and trick for how to set up your starter on your Onan. And again, not the easiest thing in the world to do. It's not the worst thing in the world. You don't have to take your flywheel off. If you take your flywheel off, you're just wasting time. Have a little bit of patience. Get in there with a good wrench, and you should be able to set this thing up without having to take your flywheel off. So I'm going to use a bigger wrench to snug that down. But that's how you set up the starter on an Onan. And you can see now it's in there. You can see the two bolts. One on the bottom there, that's the one that's hard to reach, and then one on the top. The one on the top has that big 1/2-inch hole, and that allows this whole starter to pivot back and forth. So that's another Onan tips and tricks today from Cranky Motorsports. Have a great day. Stay safe during this COVID-19 pandemic, and God bless you. Have a great day. Keep tractoring.